Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Moss Acura in North Tampa, Florida, because guess what? We have it. This is a 2020 ILX A-Spec edition. But before we dive into this small sporty sedan, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Acura. Acura is in a wonderful renaissance. You know, they've been around since 1986, that premium brand of Honda. It's all about precision performance, and you're starting to see that more and more, not only with, of course, the NSX, but with the upcoming total redesign of the TLX and the return of the Type S. But with this ILX A-Spec, it really highlights that smaller size vehicle in Acura's lineup, but really brings sporty feel and a blending of wonderful Acura reliability and luxury. So let's go ahead, dive into this ILX A-Spec edition and see, is it the best small sporty sedan that you should be parking in your garage? Right off the bat, love the color. As we go into the styling, you'll notice the LED signature daytime running lamp. Beautiful design. They call that the chicane design. Really spot on. You have your multi-jewel LED headlight design. Really sleek. And then overall, the headlight housing, the height of it, not very tall, and really blends nicely into the fender and front fascia. As we drop down, you do get a bit of gloss black. Now, you do have lower fog lamps that are that same jewel style LED lighting, but I am gonna zonk this honeycomb fake design. What I do like though is the black chrome. On the A-Spec trim, you're getting specific black chrome trim, and especially with that headlight housing, just looks really aggressive and sharp. Now, coming across the front of the ILX, this really showcases that whole precision performance. You have the Acura logo right there in the center, but look at how the grille is kind of floating away. Even though it's not moving, it's showing movement, and I really like that design element. On the A-Spec, you're getting full black chrome treatment, both on the corners and around the grille. We drop down, gloss black, nice large honeycomb opening for all that cooling. I really like the way they left this color match. They brought some gloss black. The rest of its color match really shows a lot of definition and helps it stand out, but super, super sporty from the front. Now, when we get up onto the hood, look at how the rise starts on the front fascia, goes into the hood, and all the way towards the windshield. One of my favorite body lines is how Acura takes this nice boomerang curve design on both sides of the hood. The great news is from behind the wheel, it allows you to see the top of this peak here and give you a great visual reference point. Now, as we come around the bend with this ILX, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? These are specific to the A-Spec. That's a 18-inch wheel, multi-spoke. They call that color shark gray. I love the design of it, and I think the shark gray with the color of this particular ILX really pops out. You have fully ventilated brakes and super clean overall look. The design, really, I think they hit the nail on the head. It's a 225 on the width and a 40 series sidewall. Going into the side fender, you can see your A-Spec badge, very classy badge, nothing too bold, nothing too outrageous, but it really knocks home what this car is bringing sport-wise. A zonk that I am gonna give it is that, why do we have this chrome trim? This should either be blacked out chrome to match the front or just gloss black. I think that would have fit it a little bit more in the sporty sense. Color matched on the mirror caps. Those lower sills down there, that is A-Spec specific. So the wheels, the front fascia, and that side sill are all elements of the A-Spec trim. You do get a sunroof. I love the way the window comes right into a nice triangle, and the corner window here, all part of the door. The way that Acura takes their body lines really shows a nice flared out fender look. And then when we get to the tail end of the business, on the A-Spec, you get a nice aggressive trunk-lid spoiler. The taillights really mimic the headlights very nicely. And then as we drop down, you are gonna get a single stainless steel tip exhaust just on one side. I wish they would have gave us two, or at least have it as an option. I think it would just balance out the rear a little bit more. So that's gonna be a zonk. Two exhausts would make it look that much better. The gloss black rear diffuser is clean. I do like on the back of the trunk, the way it kind of curves up like that really gives it a wonderful flow. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this ILX. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod, and I am gonna zonk the position of it. It's kind of almost right in the middle of the engine compartment underneath the hood of this ILX A-Spec. I hope you like naturally aspirated power, because that's what you're getting. That's a 2.4 liter inline four naturally aspirated engine, 201 horsepower, 180 pound-feet of torque. It is front-wheel drive, but you are mated to an 8-speed DCT transmission. That's a dual-clutch transmission. The car weighs around 3,100 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 6.6 seconds, quarter mile in 15.2. It has a top speed of 130 miles an hour. MPGs, that's where you're going to be really happy. 24 in the city, 34 on the highway. You know, I think popping the hood, a lot of people are pleasantly surprised to get that naturally aspirated, reliable power out of this Acura ILX. But why don't we go ahead, let's start it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 ILX A-Spec. I know you're at that point, you're like, Joe, this is a sporty car. I like it. I like the idea of having that naturally aspirated horsepower. How much is it? MSRP is right around $33,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Love the soft touch material across the whole top. You have the nice leather material with the white contrast stitching. It flows onto the armrest very nicely. You do have a small door pocket though. You might be able to get a bottle of milk, maybe 2 Twinkies. I think 3 Twinkies, you'll be squirting cream everywhere, so don't stuff your Twinkies. Now, as you come to the dash, this is the older design setup. Very interesting and unique AC vent location. The wonderful news is this feels like a Nerf football. Super soft material. You're gonna definitely get plenty of cold or hot air on you on the passenger side with the placement of the AC vents. You do get this smoked gray metallic trim, which is nice. The chrome doesn't match. It should be that dark chrome like you find on the grill, just to make it match all the way. Older style design on your infotainment system. So you have the larger screen up top, that's for your navigation and your backup camera. So there we are with our trajectory, nice and clean. It's a little grainy, but the trajectory is gonna help you in those tight situations. I put it back in a park, you drop down, you do have your radio controls. AC though is in a different location. You do have a volume knob, which is nice. Your start stop button. This is your direct drive controller for your navigation. You toggle down, here's your AC control. So you're gonna get dual climate control, real easy to access, a nice little door. And I like the way this is all flat black. You open this up, you could put some Jolly Ranchers in there, nicely done. Heated seats, no ventilated seats. Love the baseball style stitching on the shift knob here. Really nice, good action. Little bit of brushed aluminum, good old fashioned e-brake. Here is your ILX key fob. Usual, nice, classy key fob. It's got a good weight to it. A little bit more brushed aluminum. And then we open this up. USB, aux jack, and a 12 volt, and you could easily put about, I would say 12 payday bars in there. So if you got a payday, you could put 12 of them in there, or if you're getting paid, you could put your money in there. Leather, the piping is exquisite. A little bit of Alcantara, the stitch work is great. Of course, full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. And speaking of the driver, I got plenty of headroom in here. Even with a sunroof, plenty of headroom, feeling good. Why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this ILX A-Spec. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this ILX A-Spec. You do get some very tasteful brushed aluminum brake pedal and throttle. I wish they would have gave us a brushed aluminum dead pedal, so that's going to be a zonk. But seating position, like I said, is spot on the money. Steering wheel, I absolutely love. Wonderful leather, contrast stitching, A-Spec badge right at the base of the steering wheel. You do have 2 small plastic paddles to go up and down that 8-speed DCT. And then the dash layout is very simple, very straightforward. So you have a tach, analog coolant gauge, analog speedometer, and fuel gauge. And then you have that digital display in the center that you can go and toggle through different information, which allows it to be very easily flexible. You do have a sport mode. You got to put the shifter all the way to S, so you see the S there. That's going to change how the vehicle behaves. But overall, simple and clean. I'm expecting some big things, I'm sure, in a redesign, which should be happening, I'm going to say probably 2022. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the back seat and see if your passengers are going to have enough room in this ILX. All right, guys, back seat time now. What's surprising is that this does not have the same amount of room as, say, a 2020 Honda Civic. It's sitting on a different chassis than that car. So it does feel a little tight in the back seat. I have not moved the seats. These seats can move a little further forward. You do get leather all the way around the back. Nice size pocket. You could easily put a couple Frisbees in there, or maybe even, what else could you put in there? Maybe a baseball or some golf balls you could drop in there. Bad news is no connectivity. So you don't have a USB, you don't have a 12 volt, and for a $33,000 vehicle, that seems like a zonk to me. The good news is you do have a nicely padded armrest, and the seats are comfortable. It's just it's a little tight back here. But why don't we go ahead, check out the trunk and see how much room we have in this ILX. All right, guys, time to open up the trunk, see how much space we have to open up the trunk. The button is hidden right there, and then now you're just gonna lift, and you can see you have a nice, large, wide opening. The seats are obviously gonna fold down to where you could get larger objects. You're looking at 12 cubic feet of space. I guess the best news is that the actual opening for a compact car is a really good size. Plus, kind of nice the way they just hide that button nicely in that taillight lens. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this ILX A-Spec for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 ILX A-Spec. I have it in sport mode. The way you do that is you take the shifter, you put it all the way into S, which is all the way back. You can't go any further back. If you go further back, you just broke the gear shift lever. But driving down the road, very, very smooth. I do like the style of the steering wheel. Feels really good in the palm of your hand with the thickness and everything. I'm still not the biggest fan of the split screen, but you know what? For some people, it really works. I guess the good news is I like the way that the navigation is nice and high. The second screen just seems a little redundant. I'm very excited to see the changes that are coming, not only for the TLX, but eventually this ILX. Driving down the road though, that DCT shifts smooth. Let me go ahead and on throttle, drops down, and we are off. So you can see the smooth shifts that we have, and visibility out the front is great. The back, it's tight. The reason why is the headrests. All three of them are super large and really kind of cut the rear glass in half. That's what kind of visibility you have. The side mirrors though are excellent. Steering, I wish there was a little bit more weight to it. It's a little on the lighter side, but I'll see how that feels once we get to a couple twists and turns. Everything else in here is pretty much simplicity in its layout. So figuring out where the heated seats are, easy to get to. The AC controls are real simple. I don't know. It's missing something for me that just makes me say, wow. And it's funny because even in the MDX or the current TLX, I get a little bit more of the wow. In here, I'm not really experiencing it as much. Now, the great news is you're getting that awesome naturally aspirated engine that's really bulletproof. I mean, people get tons and tons of miles out of those things, and the power delivery is very linear compared to, say, a turbocharged engine. But we'll see how it all goes down once we get to a couple twists and turns. All right, guys, I'm gonna take it out of sport right now and put it into drive. When you do that, it immediately drops the revs about 1,000 RPM. So, and it just dropped again. So right now we're at 1,500, cruising down the road. MPGs is where this car really comes out as a winner. The unique styling definitely helps it stand out from the rest of the pack. And, you know, for the most part, where you're touching, the material is super soft, especially the dash. Very, very soft. And it's nice to have a sunroof as well added in to the whole equation. But going down the road, feedback feels good. Seats are supportive. Could be a little bit softer, but still very supportive. And I think you'll be able to really position it nicely to your particular body type. I'm just very curious how this car is going to. Hey guys, we're going to shift with the paddles. They are small, but I'm going to do my best here. First gear, on throttle, here we go. So definitely with the paddles, when you're going through twisty bits, it was much more engaging. I was able to really just, I wanted it in second gear and I left it in second gear and used the power band to get me through the twisty bits. Otherwise, other than that, the automatic shifts just fine when you're doing regular city driving, but twisty bits for sure. I think you're gonna wanna use those small paddles. I wish they were a little bit larger, especially in the A-Spec trim, and it allows you to kind of be in that power band a little bit more efficiently. And the shifts were very quick using the paddles, that's for sure. And you don't have to worry about upsetting the chassis by it chasing all by itself. Guys, hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the ILX is all about. We're gonna get back to Moss Acura and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another wonderful day here at Moss Acura. I definitely gotta thank Dave Jr., Albert, the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2020 ILX A-Spec trim. It just goes to show that if you want that naturally aspirated power, you can get it in a smaller size Acura. Plus, you're gonna get that great reliability that the brand is known for. And if you go A-Spec, you may not be getting extra performance, but you're definitely getting extra styling. But if it's cars like these that you want to keep seeing on Rady's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Victor, working that camera like a champ. He's had spiders crawling on him, birds flying at him, and even a fish hit him in the side of the head. So thank you, Victor, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.